There's something that I find pretty interesting as of right now when it comes to ZBCN, and it's not directly concerning ZBCN, but it's indirect, and I still think it's very interesting nonetheless because I think it could very well affect it hypothetically moving forward. Now, what is that? Not too long ago, Robinhood launches Ethereum and Solana staking. Now, Robinhood is very massive. Now, the Ethereum part, it is what it is. I mean, Ethereum is already massive anyways. Take a look at the hype and attention for the ETF when it comes to Ethereum. But again, we have to take a look at why Solana, I think this could be big for it and how this can even affect ZBCN. It's because if we take a look at this, of course, this hypothetically is going to maybe help increase the attention of something like Solana. Let's not forget, ZBCN not too long ago was a top 10 in terms of utility, right? In terms of Solana. So that right there, I think, is really amazing, especially when you consider how Zebec not too long ago wasn't doing that good. And again, suddenly had a very good rise when it comes to ZBCN, top 10 in terms of utility when it comes to Solana. That right there kind of showcased that, hey, Zebec, it's not just some watered down version of Ripple and Stellar. You know what I mean? I think hypothetically there's more to it. However, even besides that point, when I take a look at something like Solana Ventures, allegedly, they're one of the early backers when it comes to Zebec. So I find that very amazing as well because do you think something as massive as Solana needs Zebec? Nah, not really, right? So then if Solana Ventures kind of takes their time and their effort to really kind of believe in Zebec, especially someone at the beginning, that is something that I think kind of showcases that, you know what? Zebec probably had good fundamentals, at least in their eyes, because if not, why would they believe in it, right? Not to mention, Zebec, allegedly, it's part of the Circle Alliance. Circle is the creator of USDC, the stablecoin. Circle also, allegedly, is one of the early backers, too, when it comes to Zebec. They allegedly also hold a lot of ZBCN, and also Circle, not too long ago, became publicly listed. So, I mean, when it comes to Zebec, I just kind of like this type of stuff because, again, I think this could maybe bring more attention to something like Solana. And if they take a look at Solana and they see something like ZBCN, indirectly, maybe, who knows? So then I'm very excited when it comes to Zebec and also just anything regarding Solana in general because I think hypothetically, if let's say Solana does do good, I think some of the projects in its ecosystem could maybe also go along with the ride. Because just take a look at, for instance, when Solana really popped off, what also popped off, right? Take a look at Jupiter. So again, when I take a look at that, that really excites me, especially if we do ever see a fully fledged type of hypothetical altcoin season during this cycle. Now, of course, Jupiter is by nature a little bit different than something like, let's say, Zebec. Jupiter is pretty much focused on the decentralized finance market. Zebec has other aspects, like for instance, it's focused on AI-based PayFi, it's focused on global chain finance, focused on payments, focused on RWAs, which stands for real-world assets. It's also focused on something called payrolls, and it's not doing bad, really, when it comes to those sectors. For instance, when it comes to its enterprise clients in payrolls, there is allegedly over 200. So that is very impressive. And its monthly volume back in May was around $40 million when it comes to payrolls. So I don't think Zebec is a bad project. And if I take a look at the Solana ETF in Canada and what that could hypothetically bring for the future of Zebec, I also think indirectly that could be viewed as a good thing because if Solana gains more, I would say in terms of its reputation, if it gains just more awareness, I think eventually some people may take a look at Solana and see, hey, you know what? What's, doing good in terms of utility on there? Who knows? Could Zebec be viewed as that? Because not too long ago, it was top 10 in terms of utility. When it comes to Solana, I mean, there's a lot of projects that it probably overtook to do that. So I think Zebec is not a bad project, at least in my perspective. Now, let's say ZBCN were to go to the price of 10 cents. Some people like to tell me, oh, this is like not that good and all this type of stuff because 10 cents is around a 30x from here. And they like to say, oh, take a look at this market cap of this random microcap and all this. Well, I get it. ZBCN isn't a microcap. So then what I think about when it comes to this is that, sure, it may not do those type of microcap numbers, but then at the same time, take a look at Bitcoin. Let's say some people out there are saying, oh, Bitcoin, 300 grand. That's slightly less than a 3x from here. ZBCN, again, at the price of 10 cents, around a 30x. I don't know if Bitcoin could do that in the next 6 to 10 months. This is just my perspective, right? Even 300 grand, again, slightly less than a 3x from here. ZBCN by nature is an altcoin. The market cap is way lower than Bitcoin. So then if someone's told me, hey, would you rather choose, or should I say asked me, right? Someone asked me, hey, would I rather choose Bitcoin or ZBCN? Hands down, I'm choosing ZBCN because I just like it a lot better, especially as of right now. For me, to kind of get into Bitcoin was a long time ago. I don't want to get into it as of right now. That's just my perspective, though. But even besides that, 10 cents, considering current circulating supply market cap around $8.5 billion. I mean, we saw Dogecoin pretty much, give or take, exceed this by 10 times in terms of market cap back in 2021, and that was years ago. So I don't think this is too outlandish. Even XRP, as of right now, has a market cap that is well beyond $100 billion. So I don't know why this would be too, hypothetically, out of the realm of possibility, maybe. However, only time will tell. If I don't believe in ZBCN right now, it just wouldn't make sense to me because I believed in ZBCN when the price was way lower back then. I get it, there's a pullback, but if I even believed in it back then, why wouldn't I believe in it as of right now? And look, I am not going all in. What I am doing is a strategy which I think hypothetically is very simple to me. And I am not telling anyone to buy ZBCN, by the way, but then what I do is that I just dollar cost average hold and I just wait. Literally, that's it. It's a patience game for me because I don't try to do this or do that every day. No. All I'm doing is just waiting. That's it. It's a patience game. I get it. It might seem a little bit boring to some people, but this is just the way, I do it. Now, even besides that point, though, some people out there are saying, oh, still, if you like hypothetical upside, how about this microcap again? I don't necessarily want to get into microcap because I think that's a little bit too much risk for me, but I don't want to get into some random dinosaur, so I like ZBC, and I think it's a good balance in between, at least personally for me. And again, I'm just going to stay patient because some people out there also like to say, oh, Zebec doesn't have much going on for it. Well, let's take a look at its Zebec cards. It's not doing that bad. Take a look at the partnerships it's been having, right? At least we see it historically speaking. I don't think Zebec is a bad project in my perspective. However, only time will tell. Like, for instance, when ZBCN had that really good pump not too long ago, I did not predict that to an exact moment. I was believing in ZBCN, I was holding, but then there was no way for me to know the exact moment in time it did do that, right? I was actually expecting it to kind of do it maybe when XCN was doing it, but then if we take a look at XCN, which is a competitor to ZBCN, it did it first, right? It had that pump, and I wasn't even expecting that to pump hypothetically at that moment in time. I thought maybe it would happen a little bit later, and then ZBCN and XCN maybe would kind of have a run sort of in tandem a little bit, but then that wasn't the case. So then what does that indicate to me? Sometimes the markets, they just wake up when I least expect it to do so. I cannot control it in any way, so then I'm just going to stay patient, hold, and I just wait. That's it, because in a moment, let's say maybe it does go up, then, by me holding, it's not like I was kind of maybe left out, so this is what I'm going to be doing, but I'm still very excited when it comes to ZBCN. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I would greatly appreciate it. It's Molly the Captain, and I'll catch you all in the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.